this should be evidence for all of us to say, oh gosh, yes, this is the work I need to be doing, not try to fix the kids and fix their behavior and give them a consequence to try to let them know they cannot get away with this. Welcome to the Connect Method Parenting Podcast, where correction is out, connection is in, and your kids want to listen to you. I'm Andee Martineau, creator of Connect Method Parenting, here to help you stay calm, confident, and connected no matter what. Yo, everybody. Andee here. We are back. Episode 3. We are talking about strategy 3 today. I love that we've kicked this podcast off with the 3 CMP strategies. It's so perfect. A little recap. Episode 1, we talked about the first strategy, which is understand your own mind, your behavior, your emotional state, so you can leave room for your kids. Then strategy 2 is how to consistently connect. And we did a deep dive on what it looks like to create a relationship with your child so that you can really connect with them. Because if you're trying to connect with your teenager, but you're a little bit irritated with them, they are going to feel it. Strategy 3 is what's up on deck today. I think on deck is coming up. So wrong analogy. We're going to talk about this today. Strategy 3 is really important. It is what is going to help you choose closeness. That is the focus. Remember, the point of the 3 strategies these are the 3 things that if you put your time and attention and effort and energy into these 3 things, you will be successful parenting by connection. You will become a Connect Method parent. So that's why we're starting off with these things. These are the 3 things that you need to be doing if you want to transition from corrective parenting, which we know all too well. Corrective parenting is all of the punishments, the rewards, the ultimatums, the timeouts, the lectures. Could go on and on. That's what we've been doing. We're getting out of that game. We're getting into this new game called parenting by connection. We're like, yes, sign me up, but I have no idea how to do it because we haven't seen very many examples of it. So I've distilled it down to these 3 strategies because 1, I like simple things. And 2, because they freaking work. This is really all you have to do to have success, to make this transition into a connection-based framework that allows you to fuel your parenting by connection, by relationships, by trust, so that your kids actually want to listen to you, you ignite their intrinsic motivation, and things just go a heck of a lot better. One of the most important things that allows us to choose closeness is to understand what's happening with our nervous system, the impact it's having on our parenting, and to be able to regulate our emotions and our nervous system so that we can choose to be close and not get triggered when things start going off the rails. We are maybe able to handle a 5-minute tantrum, but if it lasts 20 minutes, we're starting to feel so agitated. So what we want to do is to continue to increase our window of tolerance to handle the off-track behavior our kids are doing. All the 3 strategies are working together to help us be able to come to this point in our parenting where nothing will phase us, where we will be able to stay calm and connected no matter what. Now, I'm not saying you're going to be perfect, but you're going to get pretty darn good at either showing up that way or recovering if you don't, and recovering quickly. So we've got to understand the nervous system. It's part of the important element of choosing closeness instead of choosing disconnection and frustration and irritation when the kids have off-track behavior. You want to be able to choose closeness so that you can stay compassionate and firm and handle anything that comes your way. So let's talk about the nervous system. Now, I want to be clear. I am not going to go into neuroscientist mode. Well, because I'm not a neuroscientist. I am a nurse and I'm a mom and I am a hobby scientist, researcher. I love learning. So I'm always out there learning, but I also need it to work for my brain and I need it to be simple. And I love to teach it to the moms and dads in league so that they can learn it as simply and easily and make it very doable for them. So that's what we're going to do today. So if you're a scientist, you might find my explanations a little simplistic, but bear with me. because they work for most of us that just need to be able to understand them so that we can choose to shift the way we are showing up for our parenting. So let's just start at the top. Autonomic nervous system. We're going to go to Nervous System 101 class, everyone. Welcome to class today. We're going to talk about the nervous system. So the autonomic nervous system is the name that scientists have given this amazing part of our body that really does so many things that I can't even get into. We're going to be very simplistic in how we talk about it today, but it keeps us alive. It really does. It's so amazing. And so I want you to remember how incredible your nervous system is when you want to be mad at it, because once again, you have yelled or slipped back into giving a punishment or lecturing. And that's your nervous system going into that fight or flight mode to try to protect you. And you might just be so upset with yourself that you did it again. But before you beat yourself up, remind yourself that, oh, I'm so grateful for this nervous system. It has protected humans for generations. It's trying to protect me. I'm going to retrain my nervous system to help it know that this is not a dangerous thing that I need to go into fight or flight mode about. But I want you to be kind to it. It really is there to help you. You might not like what it's doing right now. It might not seem very helpful, but I promise you, it is there to serve you and keep you alive as a human. And the more gentle you can be with this process of retraining your nervous system, which is one of the elements that we need to do to be able to choose closeness when things are off track, the kinder you are, the more success you will have. So repeat after me. I will be kind to my nervous system as I am learning to retrain it. Now you've taken the vow, so be kind to yourself. I say this kind of in tongue in cheek, but I'm also actually being very serious because this was a huge problem for me when I first started retraining my brain to think differently about my kids' behavior, about myself, how I showed up parenting, what their behavior meant about me. I was very mean. And as I have worked with many moms and dads, mostly moms, but you dads, we love you too. What I have found is that especially with women, we are very hard on ourselves and we beat the crap out of ourselves. And for me, this is what I did for years. I beat the living crap out of myself, all in the name of constructive criticism. I don't have any problem with actually that being a thing, but I was doing beat the crap out of yourself dialogue in my head under the guise of constructive criticism. And it wasn't constructive criticism. It was really critical criticism. It was, you're not worth anything and you can't figure this out. So don't do that, because all it will do is keep you stuck. Beating the crap out of yourself is not what's going to change things. This leads right into the nervous system discussion, because you know what is happening when we're beating ourselves up? We are triggering ourselves against ourselves. We're literally re-triggering our nervous system. We are in fight or flight mode about ourselves. Yes, we are. Fight or flight mode. And when we are in fight or flight mode, which we're going to talk more about in this episode, we are not thinking straight. So get off the criticism train, get onto the curiosity train. It's going to serve you much better. We want to get curious and compassionate about what's going on with our lives, not critical and mean. Don't want you to repeat what I did. I was stuck for years without making the progress I wanted to because I was so convinced that being mean to myself was how I was going to shift my parenting. And if I was nice to myself, I would just not change. I would just not make any shifts with my parenting. So don't do it. That was a little off the track diatribe there, but I think it was important. As we're talking about the nervous system, let's circle back. I got a little bit distracted there. We're going to come back. It's the autonomic nervous system. There's two parts of it. The role of the parasympathetic nervous system is to promote relaxation, rest, and recovery. The body is incredibly smart. We don't want to be relaxing and resting if there's danger. If there's danger, we want to be ready to defend ourselves. And this is where the sympathetic nervous system kicks in. And thank goodness for the sympathetic nervous system, because it is there to protect us in times of need and times of danger. It's our fight or flight response. And this is not the place we want to be when we're parenting our kids. Because if our emotions are high and our thinking is low and we're going back into autopilot fight or flight mode to protect ourselves, we're not going to be saying or doing really sweet, kind things. We go to this catastrophizing thinking. And the reason we're so caught up in the external is because we are in a world where external is how we value or measure success instead of internal. So it's a lot easier to get all up in arms about the messy room, because not only does that messy room now mean something terrible about our kids, it means something terrible about us and our parenting. We go into fight or flight mode, which does not allow us to show up in the best way. And when we go into fight or flight mode, our kids can feel that. And so their nervous system says, ooh, this person is not safe. They're in fight mode. We need to protect ourselves against this person. And so their nervous system kicks in and they start going into fight or flight mode. And now what you have is two people with their brains turned off, fighting each other. We don't want to be doing that. We don't want to be triggering our nervous systems and then triggering our kids' nervous systems. And also, we want to be aware that just because our kids' nervous systems are triggered, that's not dangerous for us. And we don't have to go into fight or flight mode back to protect ourselves. Actually, we're safe and we can stay in that parasympathetic state and not go into fight or flight mode to protect ourselves. If you're new to Connect Method Parenting, I have a great way for you to get started. I created a free course that covers some of the biggest challenges parents are facing and how Connect Method Parenting solves them. In an hour, we're going to talk about why parenting is so hard, how to get your kids to want to listen to you, how to stop yelling and losing your cool, and become that calm, confident, connected parent for good. It's the fastest way to get started using connection as your go-to tool for influencing and impacting your kids. Go to cmp.works/course to get instant access today. Our child's brain, it is built to co-regulate with us, meaning it literally needs this adult in its life to help it learn how to emotionally regulate, how to get back to equilibrium. It needs us. And so the better we are able to regulate our emotions, the better we are able to come to a situation where they are obviously dysregulated. Maybe they're fighting their sister. Maybe they're just have a big attitude with us, whatever the case may be. When they're acting like that, that is a big red flag that their nervous system is activated. And what we want to do, if we want them to calm down, is not go and give them a consequence. Now we're just activating their nervous system more. No, if you understand the body, what we want to do is give them a place for their nervous system to calm back down. Yes, this is what we want to do. We have not been taught this. But now that you understand the nervous system and we're learning about strategy 3, choose closeness, this is all going to come together for us. We're going to understand why setting a connective limit and holding that connective limit and choosing to stay close instead of have the judgment and disconnection, which is the old patterns and the way we've been taught, go in and correct. When we can discard all of that and we can come in and see that, hey, my child is having a problem right now. They're fighting. They're really emotional. They're struggling to see that all they have to do is make their bed and they're overwhelmed by it. Their nervous system is activated. Their nervous system needs my nervous system to be able to co-regulate back down to a calm place, to get back to that parasympathetic nervous system. So the best thing I can do if I want them to calm down and be able to navigate this in a healthy way is for me to be calm and choose closeness. Choose to stay close instead of disconnect. Choose to not make it a big deal that they're having this problem. Just allow the nervous system to run its course in a place of safety so that they can come back to equilibrium. There is something inside of our brains called mirror neurons. They are sending out a message, essentially telling our kids how we are internally. Are we calm? Are we activated? Are we frustrated? Where are we at? And those mirror neurons inform their nervous system how they should react. You guys, this should be evidence for all of us to say, oh gosh, yes, this is the work I need to be doing, not try to fix the kids and fix their behavior and give them a consequence to try to let them know they cannot get away with this. No, the work is, how do I come in with a calm nervous system, even when what they're doing is very alarming or has been alarming to me, and give them the space to calm themselves down, because that is what will actually work in the long term. When we are not in a dysregulated place, when we are in a regulated nervous system state, we will be able to help our kids get into a regulated nervous system state. If we are in an activated state, we're charged, we're triggered, our children are going to mirror us because their neurons are being informed by our neurons, and they're going to activate as well. They're going to stay activated because they're going to think that's what they need to do. We are informing them how to respond. So here's what I want to do as we wrap this episode up. I want you to be thinking, one, what is your nervous system response when your kids have off-track behavior? Write that down. Become aware of it. Understand it. There's nothing wrong with it. Just see it, even if it's not pretty. And then what do you typically do? How does that play out for you? What I want you to be thinking about this week is the ways that work for you to calm your nervous system down. There's so many benefits of deep breathing, just even breathing out twice as long as you breathe in, that physiologically signal to the nervous system you're safe. Of course, there's meditation, walking, putting your feet in the ground, being out in the sun, all sorts of things that are going to help you calm that nervous system down and stop feeling so triggered. I want you to be creating a list for yourself that will help you be more aware of things that get you from sympathetic to parasympathetic, that allow you to go from activated to relaxing. Music is powerful. Pressure points, closing your eyes. I used to just lay on the ground. If I was frustrated and I was walking around the house and it was overwhelming and I couldn't handle it anymore, I'd often just lay on the ground. That really works for me. I've talked to moms that say walking outside, exercising regularly, journaling, sewing, crafting. Sometimes organizing something is very calming for me. I feel very productive. That's one of the things I like, being productive. And so these are really important things for me to know. It's my toolbox, and they're going to be important things for you to know and have in your toolbox to calm your nervous system down. Because what you want to be able to do is go into a situation where your child is clearly activated, they're triggered, they're in fight or flight mode, and you don't get sucked into the drama. You are genuinely not judgmental and you're completely fine with the experience they're having. You might have to set a limit. You might have to tell them no. You might have to separate kids, but you're genuinely neutral about it. This is going to allow you to choose closeness, which is the third strategy. Now, there is so much more I could unpack on each of the strategies, and we will in further episodes, but get yourself in the habit of realizing that these are the three strategies that you want to be focusing on every single day. They're your three-pronged approach to solving, to shifting, to changing any behavior, any problem, any situation, any relationship that you feel is off right now. You're going to use strategy 1, which is understand your own mind, so you can leave room for theirs. Go back and listen to episode 1 if you didn't get a chance to already, or you want to just really get clear on what that means. You're going to be practicing strategy 2, which is consistently connecting in a genuine way. Then strategy 3, choose closeness. It starts with a foundation of understanding the nervous system and understanding how you're activated and how you get regulated so that you can create the capacity within yourself to choose closeness in any given situation, especially the off-track ones where the kids are going off the rails. I want you to choose closeness, which means a regulated nervous system that believes in your child. And we will continue to unpack this in further episodes. I'm excited to continue this conversation with you, but that's what I want to leave with you today. Thinking about the three strategies, practicing them in your lives, seeing what difference it makes for you. We're going to keep building on this, you guys, and change your parenting forever. Thank you so much for joining me today, for coming and joining this parenting revolution of parenting by connection, not correction. Be sure to share this with your friends and family, your parenting bestie, and help them learn about Connect Method parenting. Spread the word. I would really appreciate that if you could share it with people. And then also subscribe and comment below if you liked what you heard today. So we'll talk to you next time. Until then, have a wonderful day. See you soon. Bye. If you enjoyed listening to this podcast, come check out League, my Connect Method parenting coaching program, where we take this material and we apply it using my proven formula. Head over to cmp.works/join.